nicht jetzt, es arbeitet nicht jetzt, weiß ich, was ich sagen. Es ist manchmal das Programm, was dreht den Cup. Was lassen wir sein? Wir gehen mal lassen wissen erst. Everything looks good on my end. But I think everything should work. I really think so. Let's say, what's this one?
This is the only truck that's earned the right to be called Ford Super Duty. Available with power on demand and an available 360-degree camera to watch your surroundings.
Alrighty, tubers.
Here's
an interesting one for you. Got a 1985 Toyota minivan. I can't remember exactly what they're called. I think they're just called Toyota van, like the Toyota pickup. It's got Oregon plates on it. Looks like it's been sitting since 2012. Just picked this up from a storage unit that is getting rid of a bunch of delinquent
working good. Okay, so it's a program
customers. Vehicles and trailers. I did pick up that other trailer. I may or may not make a video on.
This Toyota van revival, abandoned for 11 years. Can we get it running? So it's arbeit nicht. By the way, thank you. I don't know if we gave free met de live. Ich niet e-cam en dat zag me kennen aan nog de alte. Verstaat je ook? Ze van like vorige moment gestreamd. Dus kennen ze aan ze grapt niet de audio, so I don't know, messed up. Okay, now it's good. Thank you. Share the live. Laten we zien hoe lang we continue in hand. Ik wil toch maar gas erop brengen, but somehow het is je kunt maken. But we doen wel. Ik weet misschien van deze zaken. Ik ben ze eruit of wat. Ik kan gewoon zien op zijn video. Het is op mijn channel. Of mijn channels, of mijn subscriptions. Ik heb hem lieb. Staan ben je red van, wat heißt das, van Snowblowers. Het is sehr wichtig, te hebben de richtige Snowblower. Okay. Oh ja, heißt das, also rief er zich, als mijn zeg. Also rief er zich. So heißt der. Whatever, GT spelled. Here we go, this is Ants.
This is the snowblower that you need to be looking at. Let me tell you what Toro isn't here. Hard no from me.
Okay, 1 second. Koidem call Milwaukee. Koidem, weiß so. Snowblowers is geht, was ze doen de 3 companies. Eerder zoekt dat Toro. Toro is 1 company, right? Nu doen de Ariens, even heißt es. En het is de best. Okay, so het is sehr wichtig. But laat me zien wat ze zoekt. We gaan eerlijke ment hand.
Hey guys and gals, welcome to Garage Gear. I'm JB, and I'm at Lowe's checking out their 2-stage gas-powered snowblower lineup for 2025.
This is the Ariens. This is the Ariens. So this is the deluxe model, right? So so I couldn't call to choosing a git snowblower, right? Is do 24-inch, is do 32-inch, do 28-inch, do kleine aggressor. Ze macht das Sache aus. So, ich habe research die Sachen. Wenn sie erfuhrt, sie das dann pushen, oder das dann pushen, you're out. Sie hat ein Light, sie hat Nacht, die wusste Power, Gas, die wusste nicht, whatever. By the way, my opinion on Sully Green's album, I love it actually. I actually love it. Ik ga eens naar huis. We gaan maken een live reaction, huh?
Let's see what they got. It's a snowblower battle between Ariens, Toro, and Craftsman. And just so we're...
So, Sadi, ga ik hebben nog eenmaal. Craftsman is something that was verkauft in Lowe's. Home Depot had dus geen Craftsman, right? So Toro en de andere tickets ook, laat maar zien.
Let's see what they got. It's a snowblower battle between Ariens, Toro, and Craftsman. Yeah. And just so we're clear here, this video is not sponsored by Lowe's or any of the brands mentioned. First up, the Ariens Classic. The smallest of the bunch by Ariens, 24 inches wide, and retails for $999. 208cc engine with electric start, and comes with a 3-year residential warranty, as well as a 90-day commercial warranty.
This is important warranty. Wie viel hat man warranty? Darf ich sie kaufen? Es ist important. Sie verrecht sich, kostet die company, sie geben dir eine neue part.
Here's what I like on this Ariens Classic. This is a great snowblower for small to medium driveways and small to medium snowfalls. She's capable of tossing 58 tons of snow per hour.
Thank you, Vicky.
And up to 40 feet away. That's not bad considering some other brands' biggest models can only throw that far. Maybe Ariens should change the name of this snowblower to the Classic Cannon. Now here's what grinds my gears with this Ariens Classic. No headlight. This can make snowblowing in the dark a chore. Small tires and no auto turn make this gal tough to get around. And to help this video get around the YouTube algorithm, would you mind hitting that like button? Thank you very much. Next up at Lowe's is the Ariens Deluxe 24. 24 inches wide and sells for $1,449. 252cc engine up on top with electric start, capable of clearing up to 62 tons of snow per hour. Great for medium to larger driveways.
So it's kimchi medium, larger. What's my medium? What's my larger? Like based off what? So die hosta medium. Die hosta no, it's not true, right? What's my medium, large?
Ways and medium to larger snowfalls. Bring on that lake effect snow because she can take it. I did a full in-depth review of this specific snowblower, and I'll have that video linked down below in the description. This Deluxe 24 comes with a 3-year residential warranty as well as a 90-day commercial warranty. Now here's what I like on this Deluxe 24. This is a snowblower that is absolutely dialed in. She comes with an LED headlight up top, a nice tall chute to throw snow farther, plus a deeper bucket up front, larger augers, and even a cast iron gear case with a 5-year consumer warranty and a 1-year commercial warranty. Now I know this thing's orange, but that's just bananas. You also get a larger 14-inch impeller that can handle more snow, plus 16-inch taller tires with auto turn, making the snowblower easier to navigate. Now there's not much here that grinds my gears with this unit. I've mentioned this in previous videos. These newer engines have more paneling, which...
One second, keep an eye for copyright. I just got one strike. I didn't see that. 1 second. Thank you, by the way. So I just got one strike. I didn't see that they gave me 7 days to remove, but I missed it and I got a strike. Oh wow. So ich kijk die ganze Zeit wegen Copyright, ChatGPT, Zaitanen. Any video can werden restreamed unless jene sucht klur als das nicht. A live nicht. So a live wird ein Problem. Machst a Fox Live oder a CNN Live. But dann musst du the White House oder C-SPAN, das kannst du restreamen. Because a public does. Ich bin neugierig. Ich sag mal, kannst du an der Muschel, lass mal so, du gehst dran in Home Depot, in mir hört a Sound. Ich habe es gehabt, da musst du gewinnen bei Becks. Kennst Becks? Ja, Becks, die alle, whatever, die alle Machinerie, die sie haben. Und man geht auf so Tape in the back und sagt, geh mal Strike. So, I'm nicht kein Strike, but the customer is nicht monetized, whatever, right? But what are you gonna do? Reis erst Maschine machen? So, ich weiß nicht, wo seid ihr? Kennen Sie sagen, gehen Sie jede Ariens, sie fragen a permission kind of, I don't know, ich weiß nicht, I don't know. So du kannst gehen auf YouTube, the YouTube Studios und du kannst das, whatever. Ja, music is the worst, but ich bin neugierig, wo die es gemacht in Rema Strike. It's important. Wow. Okay, but dann muss ich sagen, Video, ich meine, I think so. Ich meine, ChatGPT getan hat, ja. Ich habe schon ein paar Mal gerade gefragt, das. Hey, there's no issue, dass man die Restreams noch eins. Ich frage, die likes commentary in the mitten.
Could take repairs down the road a little longer to accomplish.
Yeah,
that aside, this is definitely the best bang for the buck blower at Lowe's, considering all of its features, durability, reliability, and the power that you get at this price point. That's definitely a snowblower you cannot go wrong with. Next up, we have the Ariens Deluxe 28,
So it's heel bizar, the logs, but it's at 28 instead of a 24, right?
$1,549.
Oh.
Picture this. Saving up to 10% when you bundle your home and auto insurance.
$9. Now let's see, what do you get for the extra $100? 4 inches wider. That's about it. But that extra 4 inches gets you an extra 3 tons of snow cleared per hour, bumping you up to 65. She comes with a 252cc engine with electric start, and this unit will be great for medium to larger driveways, as well as medium to larger snowfalls. I previously owned one of these Deluxe 28 models for
Deze snai.
10 years.
Hij woont mainig in New York anyways, de bocher.
And it handled multiple Buffalo snowstorms just fine. Now here's what I like on this unit. A little bit more clearing power. And also much like the Deluxe 24, the Deluxe 28 comes with an LED headlight. You also get an old style turn crank for the chute that you just can't go wrong with. The Deluxe 28 also has a deep bucket up front to help process all that snow. And when you combine all of this with a 14-inch wide impeller, larger augers, you get a Buffalo Blizzard boss that is ready for anything. Now here's what grinds my gears with the Ariens Deluxe 28. Just like on the Deluxe 24, the extra panels on the engine may take repairs a bit longer to complete, but also the handle lock control mechanism on my Deluxe 24, which is also on the Deluxe 28, broke on mine relatively early.
So, als man gerade gefragt, weiß ich, hatte ich gerade geämpft für dem, ich kiek der live, ich kiek der ganze live. So, ich nicht eCam. Jetzt, eCam ist besser, kannst du aufnehmen Menschen. Jetzt, du kannst noch meine aufnehmen Menschen auf OBS, aber jede Sache ist nicht Plug and Play. So, die das tun, eCam ist Geld, and I don't want it, but weißt du, kannst du opkoden nach Coupon, in, kannst du mal Coupon, von eCam, von der erste Gooi, but es ist, sag mir Plugin, like, die weiß, was dit sich, ich muss vielleicht nicht Sound gehabt, but ja, OBS kann es geschehen, wie hab's tun? Gotta go, enjoy, love, keep it up, bro, thank you, I appreciate it, Vicky.
Basically, when you push down on one handle, the other stays down so you can free up that hand to move around the controls. Well, there are some little pins underneath the dash that work their way free, and you'll need to put new ones in. I'll have a video on that, link below as well. Now up next, the Ariens Deluxe 30 for $1,899. Carrying over many of the same features.
Kortom zegt man als deze de company. Deze de company was Meredo, right? Deze de company was Meredo. Wil me al deze kopen, Ariens, whatever ze Ariens. Ik heb een pomme gezien, die maakt daar een search. Welke snowblower is the best? Deze de company. Okay.
Of the previous 2 Deluxe models. You get a 30-inch bucket, and she's capable of chucking 71 tons of snow per hour. There's a 301cc engine up top, and you're backed by a 3-year residential warranty, as well as a 90-day commercial warranty. Now, if you live in an area that's frequently seen heavy snowfalls, Hamburg, Orchard Park, I'm talking to you guys, the South Towns of Buffalo, or in a similar kind of area, this is the snowblower that you need to be looking at. This is the snowblower that helps you clear all those neighbors out after you're done with yours. Now here's what I like on this snowblower. I'll take a power boost. Plus you get hand warmers that keep your hands hotter than a snowman in Miami.
Nein, de snow warmers, wordt mijn hand geworden schwitzig. Ich weiß nicht, gib mir die Händchen schön.
Now what grinds my gears with this Deluxe 30 is that it's starting to get up there in terms of weight. 258 pounds. So if you're not that strong or maybe a little older, this could be trouble for you. But at least it comes with auto turn to make it a little bit easier to navigate.
But was dit met cruise control? Like the voert alleen, bijna ja.
Now, we're shifting gears and it's time for a little Toro talk. This is the Toro Snowmaster 824 QXE for $1,000.
I get sorry, ga kibber. The idea, the Toro is an American company. We maken ook het in Mexico. Ze hebben geswitcht in Mexico. But kijk on, en Ariens, whatever ze heißen, is American company menig. But Zara zeg maar, die kennis je kijken, ze is een American company. Ze is niet een American company. Because, wo ist das von American company? 2 Menschen gekommen von Tennessee, haben gemacht, sie machen eine Snowblower. No, sie nicht. Sie Menschen, die kennen, like, sie sitzen in Tennessee, sie designen es, aber sie schicken es in Thailand, sie machen eine Snowblower. Not a big deal. Kijk hoe ze gaat dat. Je gaat dat pressure washer. A git the pressure washer, ja? Ze niet gemaakt in the United States, but it says git. Git meint, it does the job, so stark, de reder, weißt, jede Detail. Also wie der Liv soll rausgreifen du, in der Seife soll Gitter rauskommen, und so sagen in der Front, so geschaffen pluggen, so es können zusammenlegen, und blablabla. In der Pipe soll nicht an zieh hart, so es können herandrehen, weißt du, ich mein? Yeah, I'm also happy he's here. The point is that it's not about made in the United States and this is us, weißt du, ich mein? Man darf herankicken, in the detail. Es geht, es nicht geht, verstehst? Ich drive a Tesla Model 3.
$199. Hold up, that's a single stage. Yep, you're right, but only as of recently. What do you mean? Well, just last year, Toro claimed that this was a 2-stage snowblower, but there's no second impeller behind the augers. I went after Toro for this last year, and now the sign says that it provides single-stage speed with 2-stage processing. Nope, Toro. Still a single stage. Just so we're clear here, 2-stage means augers in the front that send the snow back to an impeller, the second stage, to shoot the snow out the chute.
Ze macht es damals easier to push the Schnee and but whatever. So that's important.
Toro, stop trying to deceive consumers. That's basically like my neighbor claiming that his Camaro is a pickup truck. Guys and gals, Toro loves their marketing mumbo jumbo. But hey, if they claim it's a 2-stage, I'll talk about it. 252cc engine with
which is good. 252cc is ganz good.
Electric start, and she's 24 inches wide. Now here's what I like about this snowblower. It has a really good engine for its size. It gives this snowblower a fighting chance. And the joystick shoot control allows you to put snow wherever you want it. Now here's what grinds my gears with this Snowmaster.
Here we go.
This thing has got regret written all over it. Tiny tires in the back, multi-bolt point construction, plus plastic parts and paneling everywhere. More plastic than a Los Angeles dating app. When you get that heavy, wet snow packed up at the end of your driveway, a few feet high, do you honestly think this snowblower is going to hack it?
No?
I don't. For less money, you can get into an Ariens Classic and get something far more reliable. They also put their personal pace from their lawnmower line on this snowblower. And look at how chintzy this control is. That is just asking for trouble. Let me tell you what Toro isn't here. This is a single-stage snowblower designed for smaller driveways and smaller snowfalls. That's it. Hard no from me. Now up next is Toro's Power Max 7240E for $1,099. Lowe's has got a deal on this one. 212cc engine with electric start, and she comes with a 3-year limited warranty. Now here's what I like on this Power Max. A steel chute with a convenient quick stick to easily move that chute around, and an anti-clogging system to send big chunks of snow back into the augers to be recycled and chopped up better. Now here's what grinds my gears with this Toro. Between the metal auger housing and the metal chute, you get this big old plastic panel, which kind of looks like a Christmas Oreo. I'll have a video coming out in the near future on why this plastic panel right here is such a problem. So stay tuned for that. Toro, this should really be metal. You really cheaped out here. And they also cheaped out on the handlebars too, because you're holding metal on the top. There's plastic on the bottom. And when you pull the handles down, you're holding entirely plastic, but you're not holding those handles down all the time. So your hands, or gloves in this case, on cold metal pipes is going to get cold. And good luck installing heated hand grips on this. That won't be easy. Another thing here is that it says there's hardened gears inside the gearbox with no shear pins. These look like shear pins, but they're most likely bolts in this case. Now, if something were to get swept up and caught inside your augers, that could damage your gearbox, and that could be a very time-consuming and costly repair. They claim
because of something.
with this model that if something were to get caught inside the augers, the whole unit would just shut off. But is your gearbox okay? Maybe. Maybe not. Next up at Lowe's, we're checking out the Craftsman snowblowers. Next up, the Craftsman Select 24 for $899. 24 inches wide, 208cc engine, with electric start. And it comes with a 3-year limited warranty. Now here's what I like most about this Craftsman snowblower. She's simple. No frills here, an old style crank that will never fail you, simple controls, and she's not exactly the heaviest unit. A steel chute that launches snow up to 40 feet, and these used to be plastic, so this steel chute is a plus. Now here's what grinds my gears with this Select 24. Tiny tires on the back, and this unit is difficult to steer and turn. Also,
because it doesn't have auto turn.
No headlight, and these augers are a little small. So if you live in an area that gets tons of snow, you're gonna be out there for a while. Next up is the Craftsman Select 28 for $1,449.
Nou, je gaat je gang voor Ariens en dat is afval. Oké, maar laat maar zien hoe ze even verkoopt, de Craftsman.
28 inches wide, a 272cc engine with electric start, and a 3-year warranty. Here's what I like on this snowblower. 272 cc's is a great amount of power for this size snowblower. You get a steel chute with a deflector control up on the dash, plus dual LED headlights and bigger tires in the back. Now here's what grinds my gears with this Select 28. First, with the wider 28-inch intake, you would think that you would get bigger augers or more augers. Not the case. All they did was just put bigger spacers in between the augers. That's it. Craftsman, that's pretty lame. Also, no grease fittings on the auger shafts. Now this goes for Craftsman and all other MTD models here. I did a video on how to lubricate these auger shafts, and I'll have that video linked below. Now, if you don't have a local snowblower shop or dealer in your area, don't necessarily want to buy a used snowblower, and battery blowers won't shockingly cut it in your area of the snowbelt, then perhaps these snowblowers here at Lowe's could suit your needs. Keep in mind that this is what's available at my local Lowe's. Prices and selection may vary by store. Now here's a few other tips and tricks to help prevent you from buying a Lowe'ser. If you're looking at a specific model in the store, buy the best looking one. Take the extra 30 seconds, walk around them all, and find the one with the fewest dings, scratches, dents, and even.
Dit is nog een probleem. Die wijze, wenn die kaufst, any Grußschnader oder any Sag, was I like raus, I give them this was slick dorten. Which means, so geregend, die bekommst this. So gehen die nicht geben an Knife in the store. Unless die guys see a dealer, Ariens, local dealer, und sie gehen der bauen eins. Also wie a John Deere, du weißt, du die Grußschnaders, der S100, 120, der 130, ja. Ja, sie geben dir, was liegt in draußen von der Regen. Und das bekommst die, und das ist ein Problem. So, man kauft nicht kein John Deere von Home Depot oder Lowe's. Man geht gut, du hast Sachen, wie die kannst kaufen, John Deere's, Grußschnaders oder whatever, Tractors, whatever, but das ist schon aggressiv. But lass mal reden von simple Sachen. Wenn die kauft das Sache, kiek wo der Titzig. Kiek on. Alright?
Rust. They can't put every single snowblower inside, so some models do get shoved outside for the season. Do you want to buy a rust bucket? I wouldn't. But here's something you can do. You can just ask if you can purchase the floor model instead. I would even go as far as to pull the dipstick out to see if there's oil inside. That way there's no surprises when you get home with it. There is no question that snowblower prices
One
are...
second, it's a light that. It's a light, nein? But I'm dort, I can't see the light from the garage.
through the roof. So taking care of your snowblower is more important than ever. Be sure to run your snowblower on ethanol-free or stabilized fuel and change your oil at least once a season. And if you really want to make it last, be sure to check out my full snowblower rust-proofing course to help protect your investment. I'll have my full rust-proofing course linked down below.
No problem. So it's bla maar zo. So Ariens is the beste snowblower. En die had je gezien op Poolmoe, right? Deze is de beste snowblower. This is the way to go. I'm looking in Facebook Marketplace for snowblowers. I feel I used one, right? So do get it. $200, $300, whatever. So ich wollte aufgepickt eins dort. Ich wollte aufgepickt a snowblower. Sag mal, wenn die halbstunden kaufen nach used one, die geistig sich gar fixen, in die geistig Maschine machen, Tammer, sie zerbrecht sich mit nach Schneesturm. Die willst sich machen se Arbeit. Anaya. So in them geblieben by the deluxe model other the hechere, which is about $1,500, which is expensive, but it's a machine. So at warranty, it's a machine. I got 3 jaar nicht op smoedig warranty, but it's a machine, weißt du mein? So that's that. That's that. Kijk gewoon, die wijze je gaat gaat, die zees wat er gaat voor. Dan moest
You
je,
will be
ja?
amazed by this 2025.
No, niet op geweld klikken, but doe de hand shovel, the electric one. Het is gewoon niet weird. Gewoon is niet weird.
MotorWeek is made possible by TireRack.com, Hum by Verizon,
Right, commercial grade.
RockAuto.com,
What do you mean commercial grade? What do you mean commercial grade?
State Farm, and WeatherTech.
Well, hello and welcome again to MotorWeek 90. We're glad to have you with us. 6 years ago, Chrysler introduced its front-wheel drive minivans, and the American family hasn't been the same since. Almost overnight, the full-size station wagon was out, and the compact, maneuverable minivan was in. Since then, Chrysler has had many minivan challengers to its Caravan and Voyager, but they've all lacked one important feature. They weren't front-wheel drive. So, while some newcomers have such a
Se Emmas wegen wie viel muss ich schnitzen, but it's not about that. Sag mal, darf man es schnitzen mehr? Sag mal, das auch vielleicht einmal a Woche, because die hast a inch Schnee, und sie macht die Carbones, und sie wird as, die wusste ein, dass es geht, schnell, quick, stark, und es ist der Job. Versus kaufen a $1,000, die $800, die plugst dich, es halt mit den Schnee, die wusste ein, dass es soll arbeiten, die gabst dem Mann, fuhrt, es ist der Job. This is so important. And this for years. Guy on Facebook Marketplace. Okay. In kijk Ariens, whatever the company has, Snowblowers. Guys, zijn afvullen zijn alte logo. Dit is van 30 jaar terug. Dit is 30 jaar. Ik halte het important.
advantages as better towing ability, they have not stopped the Chrysler minivan juggernaut. Now perhaps that may change. By the middle of October, the first of General Motors' APV, all-purpose vehicles, will leave the showrooms. They are roomy, comfortable, and above all, front-wheel drive. The GM APVs are all...
Gedenkst die wipers? Ich weiß schon nicht, du interessant. Was sie geht. A window, a große window, the lights hinten. Also, I know ein bisschen hecher. Chevrolet. Handel du gelegen a front camera.
Also something else, rakishly stylish. When we drove this pilot production Chevrolet Lumina APV around our neighborhood, passers-by remarked that it looked more like something the Jetsons would own than an apple pie American. The APV is, without question, the most futuristic-looking vehicle ever produced by Detroit. And you will see lots of them over the next year under 3 different nameplates. While the Chevy Lumina APV will be the volume leader, Pontiac will go after the sporting crowd with its Transport. While having the same basic shape, the Transport has a far more aggressive front end and uses sculptured lower body panels for a road-hugging effect. One reason GM can afford to make the Transport look different from the Lumina is the unique way the APV is constructed. All the body panels are plastic, which is cheaper to alter than a steel skin. The panels are hung and glued on a steel space frame, not unlike the one used on Pontiac's Fiero. The result is a rigid vehicle that can be restyled rather quickly, which leads us to the third APV entry, the Oldsmobile Silhouette. This late decision by GM is a test.
Imagine, this is given, but when die has the Hyundai, was heißt der? The calligraphy, nee, whatever. Santa Fe. Beide gaan zo zitten in the back.
To see if traditional big Olds wagon buyers will go for the minivan concept. It shares some of the Lumina and Transport styling outside with a unique ultra-luxury interior inside. We're not sure if minivan buyers...
On the seats. Is a luxury seat. Is geen cushion, alles.
Want leather seats, but in the Silhouette they are available. One thing all APVs have in common, though, is the long, low profile. The spaceship exterior includes huge, high-mounted tail lamps that are impossible.
I like it, but get back with the guy zoeken naar Pumeter en wegen the horsepower. It's not good.
Possible to miss. But it's the long, sharply raked nose that's the most controversial item on the APV. Not only can you not see the nose from the driver's seat, but you can barely reach stray items that might roll to the bottom of the windshield. While this may put some buyers off when they first sit in the APV, you do get used to it after a few miles of driving. It will be important for dealers to encourage APV prospects to test drive this vehicle. While the huge windshield looks suitable for an unwanted suntan, a special coating reflects 60% of the solar radiation. And these spider-like wipers do a good job of keeping it clean. Even in heavy rains, outward visibility is excellent. Despite styling and front-wheel drive, however, we feel that it is the APV's unique features that will appeal to buyers most. The best features, we think, involve the seats. Up to 7 individual bucket seats are available in the rear. Each weighs less than 35 pounds and can be removed in seconds by one person. So you can carry long items without clearing the deck. The seats also fold for easy access to the back row. In fact, with a wide hatch, the combinations available for seating or hauling in the APV are limited only by your imagination. And if you think Chrysler has a monopoly on cup holders, you haven't seen the APV. Almost
I didn't know, but it's hello. Nog eenmaal.
If you think Chrysler has a monopoly on cup holders, you haven't seen the APV.
De stikkel dat is op een geweest, de halter.
Almost every flat surface has them, not to mention storage nooks, from doors to glove box to dash top to dash center. If you lose something in the APV, it could be just about anywhere. There is a remote release for the fuel door and a handy pull strap on the hatch. While the hatch glass is fixed, it is kept clean by a standard
1990
wiper and washer. While the overall dash design is the same on all models, the driver's pod differs. The Lumina has a deep hood design similar to the Corsica Beretta. That includes the gauges. However, in the APV, the deep hood makes the gauges hard to read when wearing sunglasses. The Transport and Silhouette use an instrument pod design similar to the Pontiac Grand Prix. The large fingertip switches and sporty gauges communicate quickly that these APVs are far more car than truck. The center dash area is common to all designs, with a push-button heat and air conditioning panel and a good choice of stereo options, including one with a compact disc. A rear heater is also available. As for ventilation, the slick body shape enables the driver to roll down the side glass without being blasted with air, a feature we like. And unlike its leading competitor, we found the pop-out side glass doesn't rattle at highway speeds. One option is a load-leveling suspension that includes a tire or volleyball air inflator. But all is not perfect on the APV. While the only power is a 3.1-liter V6, it uses throttle body fuel injection for only a 120 horsepower rating. That's less than Chrysler's 3-liter V6. And while Chrysler offers a 4-speed automatic, the APV comes only with a 3-speed. Also, when placed in drive, the large shifter handle blocks your vision of some heat and radio controls. The EPA rates the APV at a modest 18 city and 22 highway fuel economy. We managed 19 on our APV. That's 20% less than the last Chrysler minivan we tested. On the other hand, track performance was good and compares well to the Chrysler competition. Acceleration from 0 to 60 took 12.3 seconds, with a rather quick quarter mile of 18.4 seconds at 74 miles per hour. Handling is benign. While most front-drive car characteristics are present, the steering has good feel, and the rear end stays reasonably well planted in emergency maneuvers. We did find some tendency for the APV to wander on straight roads, but crosswinds have little effect on its slick body. Braking is typical for a front disc rear drum arrangement. There is some tendency for the front wheels to lock, but the pedal is very easy.
Je kan nog zien als dat staat zitten, man. Je kan toch niet zitten, man. Says whatever, met een beetje fancy maken. It's not bad. It's actually, it's cool. It's a shine, you know. Share machine.
To modulate. Stops were straight, although our braking average of 139 feet represents a fair amount of fade over 6 stops. But there was no tendency for the unloaded rear wheels to come around. APV highway ride is excellent, with lots of comfort, although we highly recommend ordering the optional 15-inch wheels, which give better control. The interior is quiet, with a sound level reading of 68 decibels at 55. With an eye-catching shape and a superior array of seating options, we frankly came away with very friendly first impressions about the Chevrolet Lumina APV, as well as the Pontiac Transport and Oldsmobile Silhouette. They effectively take the front-drive minivan.
Hyundai, yeah. I like it, actually. The Santa Fe, the calligraphy model, the back of Exile. Says something like this.
Concept of the 80s well into the 90s. Granted, the captivating shape does make for an intimidating first.
Kijk on deze. Ja, de Santa Fe. Kijk on deze. Deze stikkel heb ik lieb. Ik ga me lieb de andere van de. Oké, dit is all right.
Time behind the wheel, but other APV features more than compensate. While only time will tell if the public feels the same, we think a lot more families besides the Jetsons are going to fall in love with the APV.
Yeah, so again, the point is, as again dry mina, right? In zijn stuk kijk wat een moesel is.
MotorWeek is made possible by TireRack.com, RockAuto.com, State Farm, and WeatherTech.
Hello and welcome to MotorWeek.
That, man? 1991 Chrysler.
91. We're glad to have you with us. The 80s will be remembered for many things, not the least of which is the minivan explosion. When Chrysler introduced their Caravan and Voyager back in 1983, they virtually invented a market segment and changed forever our ideas about family transportation. Well, minivans are still strong for Chrysler, but competition in the segment is growing, and it's because of that competition that Chrysler decided to update its design. Even the best of ideas need to be rethought every now and again, so let's see what Chrysler has done.
By the way, the way they zoekt dus ze meer als een high-end English, maar het niet aan het zo het is like het is aan a certain professionalism het is aan te brengen zo.
What's apparent at first sight is that Chrysler didn't spend too much time on changing the appearance of their second-generation minivan.
I'll leave the lights. Okay.
Chrysler didn't spend too much time on changing the appearance of their second-generation minivan. Actually, the new van styling is much softer than before. The lower hood line and wrap-around front lamps are more car-like and...
I like this. It's simple. It's so simple. It's nicht fancy. It did the job. It's like it's good.
Not unlike those of the Mazda MPV. All body panels except the roof are new, and the rear hatch now includes a high-mounted stop lamp. However, no one ever faulted the outside of the Dodge Caravan, Plymouth Voyager, and Chrysler Town & Country, so it takes a detailed tour of the interior to really appreciate how much has changed. All of the room is still here, it's just now much more user-friendly. Most controls have been moved from stalks and hiding places on the lower dash to pods on either side of the steering wheel. A driver's airbag is slated to be added next spring. It will be a first for a minivan. But right now, we wish most cars had as comprehensive a gauge cluster as this one. The up-level cluster has closely grouped engine readouts.
The battery, we can gaan zien de battery, and I can confirm it.
Cluster is this one. The up-level
Ik maak een mistake. Look at the 2026 Chevrolet Ballet.
Cluster has closely grouped engine readouts. When we tested this Plymouth Voyager SE prototype at Chrysler's Proving Grounds, we were impressed by the quality of the seat and door fabrics. These sculptured cushions have a high-fashion look unknown in past Chrysler vans.
It's true. Gewoon scheuren, wat als gezitten in de car. Hast du es enjoyed? Hast du herangelegt in der Car, bist gesitzen, hast gekannt fuhren auf Tasche ruhig. Und kein Internet.
The foam-injected seats were also
en ik ben maskam onder buttons, am ich reken back and forth, darf ich kein memory seats.
Quite comfortable with good side and back support for a family chariot. One driver comfort complaint, the parking brake pedal takes up too much of the floorboard space. Cruise controls reside at the bottom of the wheel, and it only takes a short...
So de cruise control is als een fleet. Nee, dat was 80 voet eraan, 80 eraan en kap eraan, right?
reach to get to the pod switches for lights and wipers. Switches now work with a sturdy tactile feel. The gear shift remains on the big switches now.
Hoe is de parking light? Sorry, ik heb hem geschoten. Zet me kalm hier af en zo.
Work with a sturdy tactile feel. The gear shift remains on a big steering column stalk, but the radio has been moved much higher in the center console. The ventilation controls are now also in the center and easier for the passenger to reach. The remote hatch release and rear defroster switch have been moved to a convenient spot under the...
This is the day button is for the window, right? Als kent even the window.
Radio. While all minivans are big on big item storage, the Chrysler design also excels for stowing small things. The large glove box is new.
Oh, so this is takanu. This is nog eenmaal. Deze is pitsy, right? Deze is pitsy. This is groe daaraan. Ze niet kan geheerige glove compartment.
All minivans are big on big item storage. The Chrysler design also excels for stowing small things. The large glove box is new, while the huge under-seat storage locker has been retained. Most models can be...
De plastic hebben ze geveld me niet. Het is zoveel plastic. Het is algemeen... Zeg maar, ze kent hier meer quality van de kaart. Deze is de plastic hakt.
Ordered with a full-length console. It has a tilting bin at the bottom, a storage nook higher up, and a disappearing cup holder. With its front-wheel drive
Hapstig over and the guys in the back.
Design, it's easy to walk to the center and rear seats of the Chrysler vans. A rear heating and air conditioner blower is available, and all the outboard seats use shoulder belts. The heavy van-style sliding door remains, but it now has a handy inside grab handle to make operation easier. Around back, the single-piece hatch opens as before. You still need a key to do it, and the seats fold as before. However, the seats are now easier to remove thanks to a seat latch system that no longer fights back. As before, the hatch has its own strap to aid closing. On the road, the car-like handling of the original Dodge and Plymouth vans has been enhanced. Numerous changes in the front-wheel drive suspension and steering components used on Chrysler cars have been incorporated here. Directional stability is very good. Body roll, while reduced, remains moderate. Engine selections remain much as before. Base vans come equipped with a 100 horsepower 2.5-liter
100 horsepower.
4-cylinder with a 3-speed automatic. Chrysler's 150 horse 3.3-liter V6 and electronic 4-speed automatic combo is standard on stretched vans. Our original length model had that 4-speed with the 3-liter 141 horsepower Mitsubishi V6 engine. It delivered a fine 12.2-second 0-60 result. The big powertrain addition for 1991 is the available all-wheel drive.
Ja, dat is ook zo'n kaas, maar ik vind dat zo cozy.
Designed to improve wet and poor road traction, it is a fully automatic system.
So, in 1991, ik zit by the way, es gibt wissen, wie sein MotorWeek gegangen, aber jeder mal. So, 1991, ich sitze jetzt ein Mensch mit seinem Kaffee, sind ich zufrieden. Wie sieht das de structure von hinten der Car? Oh, hij gaat het wazen. Kijk, dit is op mijn gewissen.
Routine conditions, 90% of the power goes to the front wheels. If the front wheels begin to slip, however, up to 45% of the power goes to the rear wheels. Chrysler now has the only van design available in either front or all-wheel drive. The all-wheel drive system will add about $1,900 to van prices, which should begin around $13,000 and stretch all the way to twice as much. About another $800 will be required to add Bendix 4-wheel anti-lock brakes. It is clear that Chrysler has done a remarkably restrained job in developing their renewed minivan line. Engineers clearly took the "if it ain't broke, don't fix it" adage to heart. It may not be shaped like a spaceship, but then you don't have to be an astronaut to understand it. The 1991 Plymouth Voyager, Dodge Caravan, and Chrysler Town & Country design is impressive, not only in what has been completely changed, but more so in how things that remained the same were made better.
Very cute. Very, very cute. Schon zie je veel. En nog eins. Dan kijk ik deze of deze. Hoe is dat met 1990? Kijk, hallo, mis.
MotorWeek is made possible by TireRack.com, RockAuto.com, State Farm, and WeatherTech.
Let's get right to it. with a new vehicle that we've been hearing about.
Kijk on the profile. Gaapst, I like it.
For almost 2 years. This is one of the most important new concepts in American family motoring to come along in decades. The Chrysler Corporation's new T-Wagons, the Plymouth Voyager, and the Dodge Caravan. This scaled-down version of the conventional passenger van is aimed at replacing the full-size family station wagon. What's its chances for doing that? Well, let's find out. Ever see those no vans allowed signs at parking garages? Well, Chrysler's first domestic
parking garages. Dat was schon aufgemacht mit der button 84. Finished.
Made minivan, or is it a maxi wagon, should be a big exception. Only 5 feet 4 inches high, it needs only about as much garageable headroom as a person needs to walk upright. This 7-foot-high suburban car cavity is plenty tall enough for our test Voyager, which also takes up about the same amount of floor space as a compact Ariens or Reliant K-Wagon. Mr. T prices begin at $8,700 for the base model, about $500 more than a comparably equipped K-Wagon. And with most popular options, it should cost out well under $12,000.
Kintanteros Anaya such a style, jeder kauft es.
You still get one van-like feature, a large left-hand sliding door that takes some muscle to open and close. But thanks to the use of frameless unibody construction, floor height is low. The single rear door opens up and out of the way, giving a less than subtle hint of this 7-passenger Voyager's extreme versatility in hauling. The optional 3
Laat me geben aan mijn net a look of these seats. Ja, aber es ist shine. Es ist shine. But it's shine. It's clean. It does the job. Feels ruhig. Darfst nicht, ich weiß nicht was.
Passenger rear bench not only folds.
Als I like some the seats, because I like it up a cushion of a cushion.
And hauling. The optional 3-passenger rear bench not only folds down for use as a package shelf, but can be adjusted forward for additional suitcase space behind. Or you can move the wide bench into the mid position for more cargo, still retaining seating for 5. Or even remove it altogether. That's supposed to be a one-person job.
To clean and day carpet, let me tell you, to clean and day carpet for Pesach was not possible. They schmidt again in the carpet.
Even so, cargo capacity is rated at 60% of a full-size van, twice that of a K-Wagon, and the T can carry tall bulk...
Gedenkst deze? Met overgemacht, kiili, weißt, overgemacht, wel, doe toch de redel. So met overgemacht, wel, kest er lang dan saarsticks.
Key items that will not fit in the largest conventional station wagon. And the T-Wagon can carry up to 1,700 pounds. While a standard sheet of plywood will fit between the wheel wells, its 8-foot length won't. But the hatch can be secured with a bungee cord or hook end.
Ja, hier gaan ze terecht van de idee, nog allemaal.
8-foot length won't. But the hatch will fit and can carry up to 1,700 pounds. While a standard sheet of plywood will fit between the wheel wells, its 8-foot length won't. But the hatch can be secured with a bungee cord or hook end adjustable strap.
Okay.
Chrysler has also...
Deze zijn altijd, ik claim ze nog legal dat je maken. De idee die kan kijken beide, of was dat af in de view?
Done an impressive job with people space. Full load comfort is surprisingly good. Most glass is flush mounted, with the large side panels opening vent-like at the rear. Up front, there's no engine intrusion, as with most rear-drive vans. The dash is handsome, and the bucket seats...
De schale is, die kan voeren met allemaal inside cruise control, maar de schale is, die kan voeren af tas. Gaapst?
High and comfortable, with superb road visibility in all directions. An optional
85.
instrument cluster has all needed engine readouts that are mostly unobstructed by the steering wheel.
Yeah.
The front passenger faces a recessed expanse that again promotes an airy feeling. But where's the glove box, you ask? Well, just look under your seat, we respond, to find an excellent use of available space. And speaking of space, even the optional 2.6-liter four-cylinder made by Mitsubishi looks small in its transverse front-drive arrangement. Since vans usually have some of the worst engine repair access of any vehicles on the road, the T-Wagon is again a big step forward. This mid-ranged Voyager...
I like it. That's it, 84?
SE tipped the scales at 3,380 pounds and clearly needs this bigger motor, which comes coupled only with a 3-speed automatic. While the base Chrysler-made 2.2-liter
Strook vanaf een 17 als gedrukt. Wel, dat is het gerang hebt in de andere lane. But, yeah.
power plant will just get by with the standard 5-speed manual. There's not enough torque when it's attached to the automatic. Vans have never been known for speed, but they do have to keep up with traffic. And our sample 0 to 60 time of 14 seconds is most average for anything with 4 wheels. We found the automatic generally shifted late, but it perked up during our 40 to 55 passing test with a crisp downshift to produce a fine 5-second result. At this point, we might hear a complaint. How can you test a van or boxy wagon or whatever it is as if it were an average car? Well, first of all, everybody drives the same roads, and in this case, Chrysler has absolutely no apologies for T-Wagon handling. Despite soft springs and lots of body roll, our Voyager handled better than a lot of front-drive subcompact cars. The power rack and pinion steering has adequate feel and is neither too slow nor too fast for its mission. Anyone who's ever driven a van in the rain knows how frightening that can be, but directional stability is so secure in the T-Wagon that it's hard to believe that there's so little weight over the rear wheels. In braking, where you also expect the tail of any truck-like model to come forward without being asked, a special load-sensing proportioning valve stops premature locking of the rear brakes and keeps stops straight. Average distances from 55 were a short 125 feet. There was modest fade and some early locking of the front rather than the rear wheels. And we feel that the hard Vector all-weather tires provide less dry braking traction than we'd like. A very long wheelbase of 100.
Was the cap? Aboard a jacket.
12 inches, 3 inches more than Chrysler's full-size van, combined with the turning limitations of front-wheel drive, led us to expect a wide curb-to-curb turning diameter. We weren't disappointed. At 40, we expect van, combined 112 inches, 3 inches.
You're joking, nog eenmaal.
A very long wheelbase of 112 inches, 3 inches more than Chrysler's full-size van, combined with the turning limitations of front-wheel.
Du hat man sich gedreht bei, kijk, wie sich geistig drehen auf Lizenz, oben der Berg. Das Becken, das Fuhren. Sie ja, laat ik op. In ieder geval, bij overlicenz, ich will nicht auf dem Becken. I don't want a back. I don't want a back. Ich will nicht back. I don't want. Ich will ein Drei in der Bus alles machen. Ich meine, die kann alles machen, das in der Berg.
Drive led us to expect a wide curb-to-curb turning diameter. We weren't disappointed. At 41 feet, it's wider than most suburban streets. But there are other pluses, such as
Nog eenmaal, laten we samen kijken naar de light. Nog eenmaal de blinkers.
Than most suburban streets. But there are other pluses, such as the absence of boomy interior noise, so typical of big vans and wagons. In fact, 68 decibels of noise at 55 is pretty quiet. As for fuel economy, while the EPA rates the 2.6 motor automatic marriage at 21 city and 29 highway, our test loop produced an expected 23 with a light load. So with versatile cargo capacity, moderate size, and car-like ride, along with adequate handling and power, MotorWeek just couldn't find any significant faults with Chrysler's new T-Wagons. We think the Dodge Caravan and Plymouth Voyager are some of the more revolutionary vehicles of the times.
Staan ze gezegd? Ja, ik doe dat niet. Anders me shiggen, oké? Ga eens kijken nog eens. Wie daar weet me shiggen, but Ik kan kicken en kicken en machine werden. Goed, deze stijl kaars heb ik lief gehad. I'm tired, nog eens. Nog eens en dat.
But as promised, we have something
Winkel.
that has practical written all over it. It's a Chrysler K-car. Now, the Plymouth Reliant and Dodge Aries have been around since 1980 and are likely to be with us at least until 1988. A long life to the K seems only fitting since its humble chassis almost single-handedly rescued Chrysler from oblivion. It's also the basis of all of Chrysler's newer front-drive models. But as modern family transportation, can the K still stand on its own four tires as well as it did 5 model years ago? The answer might be in the fact that this is sort of a watershed year for the K car. It does still wear very angular dress, but Chrysler did round out most of the sheet metal this time for a more flowing look. The upright oblong grille is gone, replaced by a cutout that bears more than a passing resemblance to a Mercedes grille. We opted for a Dodge Aries wagon for our test, equipped a lot like a Reliant wagon we looked into in 1982. One of the things that impressed us most about that car, and it's still true, is that even with its compact exterior, the K-Hauler has enough interior room to classify as a mid-size wagon. Another thing that's still true is the lack of some form of assist handle for the large fixed glass hatch. Inside, there's plenty of space for the usual complement of grocery bags when the rear seat is up. When it's down, there's almost enough room to go into the moving business. With its exterior revamping for 1985, the interior got the decorator's new touch too. Our staff agreed that despite short bottom cushions, this Aries bench seat...
Verstehst? Man sitzt zusammen. Es ist eine Welt für sich. Du bist comfortable. Das ist dein Leben. Was noch darfst du? Was noch darfst du? Kijk, het is herangesetzt and that's it. Het heeft gemaakt de emergency brake and that's it.
It is one of the better of its type. It's got nice support, but it's still cushy. But despite its claim to being a 6-passenger wagon, an all-adult load would strain the comfort quotient too far. A new feature is this trick combination map and vanity light that pivots from one side of the right-hand sun visor to the other.
Schallend van wem? Die chance. Selbe zaak, nog verkeerd. Okay.
But the age of the K design still shows, since many dash controls are spread out and hard to reach. On the other hand, we applaud the new cluster design that shuns most idiot lights. It provides, as standard, clear readouts for water temp and voltage, a Chrysler trademark other domestic car makers should copy. They might also envy what Chrysler has done to this K-Wagon's ride and handling. So it's no pylon racer, but the ride is controlled while soft, and the slow, totally dead steering we found in our previous test has been replaced by a fair amount.
Yeah, so when he was getting in an accident, the car was fine. Because he gave steel, whatever, I don't know what. But the mens had gehabt de klap. Hand is verkeerd. Wie meer plastic en wie meer whatever. So the mens bekijpt niet de klap, als ik zeg.
Amount of precision. There's more road feel here than on many more pretentious cars. Otherwise, handling in this Aries wagon is pretty typical for front-drive models. It does tend to plow a lot, and enthusiastic wheel cutting will make the light rear lose its grip. Fatter tires would help here a lot. While 13-inch rims are standard, even the car's optional 14-inch rubber wouldn't be up to the K-Wagon's 2,860 pounds, and that's before you load it up for vacation. More tire would also help K-car braking, which we found largely unimproved over our 82 test. There is still some tendency for premature rear lockup. Here the left...
the light is like... string. Yes and no. Zwischen kicken, zwischen geworden met een azier, doe.
Rear was the culprit, producing some swing.
Was, en toen je niet al dat ze gearbeitet, lijkt er wat 2-3 snow tires. Je mij wel was. Als dat gaat 4-wheel, deze is niet deze front wheel, but 4-wheel drive met snow tires had gevoerd.
Stopping average was a so-so 145 feet from 55 miles per hour. On the plus side, pedal pressure felt firm throughout, though fade was worse than average. We also stuck with our K-Wagon drivetrain selection from before, Mitsubishi's optional 2.6-liter 4 with a 3-speed automatic, the most practical combination for this wagon's missions. Underhood packaging for this front-wheel drive model is very neat. Power ratings have climbed slightly over the years and now reside at a respectable 101 horsepower and 140 pounds of torque. While horsepower is only 5% greater than Chrysler's homegrown 2.2-liter, hill-pulling torque is 18% better. Chrysler compensates for the wagon's extra weight with a shorter 3.02 final drive ratio. Acceleration times were good, given its body style. 18.8 seconds at 70 for a quarter mile. Times to shorter distances were even better. A 500-foot on-ramp will take 9.8 seconds at 53, and it'll take you 12 seconds to power from 0 to 60 miles per hour. But the slow shift down of the automatic did limit this car to a 6.1 second passing time from 40 to 55. That's a bit pokier than we'd like to see for those times when you're caught driving in the wrong lane. But that aside, there are plenty of other positives for the K-Wagon. For an early front drive unitized design, this K is quiet. 68 decibels of road noise at 55 is good for any wagon. And once again, we beat the new EPA mileage system. Government ratings for the 2.6-liter automatic are 21 city and 25 highway. We got a real-world figure of 26 on this very new sample. This Aries also showed us something else that'll come in handy in a family wagon. A puny 33-foot turning circle, nice for parking and round-town maneuvering. But one of the most refreshing changes about this 85 Aries wagon is the lack of changes in its price. It stayed pretty much the same.
Why? This thing is much better. Meer control. Kijk gewoon, geven die zogs, but ze gaat comfortability, bis gefahren, bis gesitzen. Kijk gewoon. Als nicht kann Cruise Control, können die alle Cars haben schon ja gehabt, Cruise Control, ein bisschen später, oder different cars. Bis comfortable. Goed, de gast aan any car hand, das mamisch nemen the highest top model, das feeling this. Deze are kitchen, okay? So, ja, es ist nicht kein Leder. Man getraut sich nicht Leder. So, because ich habe Leder, ja, it is fancy. Stop. Der Scheuer is good.
Over the last several years. While base wagons start at $8,000, this loaded version totaled out just slightly over $11,500. That's a bargain in today's car market. That was a key factor when we picked the K-Wagons as a MotorWeek best in its category in 1983. Obviously, the car that saved Chrysler can still stand on its own 4 tires. So many things about the K-car's design are dated, but there are plenty of improvements too. It's spacious for its class, well-built and quiet, respectably efficient, with quite adequate power and handling. All that happens to be what the modern definition of family transportation calls for, plus a bit more.
Gestern gleich, das ist schon von der 80s. Von der 80s zijn er zij. Wow. That's it. I promised. Ik ga eens kijken naar een. Kijk hoe dit is, jij. Ik ga eens kijken naar een. Laat me zien. Maar geparkt. Ze hebben me geparkt. Dit moet lekker aan music hebben, hè?
That's original box. This is pretty cool. But let's get it out of the box and have a closer look at it. Oh yeah, baby. All right. Look at this thing. Look at the color.
Music. I don't want to... Give me a second. Ze is gepanzerte kaars. Just a second.
Welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. Winter has arrived and the leaves aren't even off the trees yet. It is a cold one this morning. It's in the low 20s, but I think tomorrow it's going to warm up just a bit. But we got a lot that we have to take care of today. So the crew that built the building, they're coming back tomorrow. They're going to put the wainscoting up and these corner braces, and that'll be it for them. And then I can start putting up the siding. But I had forgot about something, and I'm glad I caught it. They asked me how thick the siding was going to be, and I said about 7/8 of an inch. And you know, that would land right on top of the wainscoting, that piece of trim, I forget what it's called, on top of the wainscoting, and it would be perfect. However, I forgot about the battens, which is going to be another 3/4 of an inch. So what I need to do is go get some 1x6 treated boards to build out the wainscoting 3/4 of an inch. So in other words, every post where the wainscoting goes, we're going to need like a 3-foot piece of 1x6. It won't be that many, but that will bump it out just enough so the battens on the board and batten will hit correctly on top of the trim on the wainscoting. If that didn't make sense, it will when it's all done. So I just ran out here to get a count to figure out how many 1x6s I need. The wainscoting will start right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side.
Midnight Series, was je aan het is interessant in dem. Ich watch my big sag. But anyways, I think we're gonna call it a night. It was very nice and enjoyable. Waarbij not met meer zeggen. Ik wil geen meer zeggen in reviewen. But ich weiß nicht. At this point, it's a little spät. Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, everybody.
6 on that.
And yeah. Okay. Have a good night.